Luther Kinsey with Team FY in Sports. I'm here with Coach Casey Wingard, varsity football coach for Gilmer High School. Coach, how you doing today?
Real good. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having us. Looking forward to the 2018 season. If you will, touch base on how your spring practice went and the spring game. I believe it was 0-0 with Cahola Creek. Don't know if that's really good defense or not enough offense.
Bit of both.
I would say probably a combination of both on that.
Yeah.
As far as the spring practice goes and the numbers that you had turn out compared to the numbers you have now, have they dropped? Did you have any?
No, they've stayed the same. We had pretty good numbers in the spring, and we got a new coaching staff coming in and getting them in front of the kids, meeting the kids, getting that consistency with the kids, been pretty good. So in the spring, we were offense, defense, trying to get all that put together in. The coaches are coming as far as from Florida to Cherokee, from all over, from Tennessee and all that stuff. So getting them in to be in front of the kids, we got to handle that first, and then going through practice and everything. Kids responded well. We had a really good spring. I think we got out of it what we needed to. Going to play Cahola Creek, good team, good opponent. And we just didn't have a lot of consistency on some sides of the ball. Defense, we had I remember one good defensive stance in the red zone down there, and that just showed the testament of our kids. We've got some kids coming back from last year that are, really working hard for us in the off season.
Well, speaking of the new kids that's coming back from last year, how many seniors did you lose last year?
4.
4, okay. So you've pretty much got your whole team from last year. That's good. So experience is going to be, and the knowledge of our.
Right.
Well, actually, I probably need to ask: did you change the offensive scheme or defensive scheme?
We've changed. Yeah, we've changed a little bit here and there, but not reselled whole out. We've got a bunch of seniors coming back, guys with experience, older guys that have been through a really tough football season. And they're a tight-knit group, close together. They've been working hard out here. A lot of leadership have been stepping forward, kids saying things to other kids in the locker room, carrying it out to the football field, and kind of picking up what we've been preaching to them, and then continuing it down to the younger kids, to the freshmen coming up from 8th grade. And it's a good consistency and mix of what we got right now, and I'm fired up and excited about it.
Good. Well, as far as the upcoming season, of course, we've covered the schedule on Instant Replay, our live show on Mondays, and went over some of your opponents. What, as a coach, do you feel is going to be your biggest challenge early in the season against some of these teams?
I think early in the season against some of these teams, we've got to play sound football. We got to have a sound offense and a sound defense, and all the kid out there working together. Special teams are always going to be a part of it. Very important. We can't put ourselves in bad situations, and just coming together and getting better each practice, not getting better each week, not getting better each game, but each practice we go out there having something to take away from it. We got better. We picked this up. We understood that. We took the coaching. We pushed harder. All that stuff coming together for each little practice. And that's what I think is going to help us in the early games.
Well, talking about getting better each week. Let's talk David Smith, your quarterback.
Okay.
Is he going to be your starting quarterback again this year?
Yeah, he's been doing a good job at quarterback with us right now. He's been looking good. His steps, his reads, everything's been looking really good. He's improved a lot more than he has last year. So I'm very excited for him to step out on the field and perform for us.
Now, we're talking with the community. I've had some people in the community tell me, as I've researched Gilmer football, of course, being a new reporter to this area, I wanted to learn as much about it as I could, not only from y'all, and of course my research of checking your schedules and your opponents and how you've done in the past, but also talking to the community a little bit. On David Smith as quarterback, I've had some people tell me that sometimes he just don't want to. It seems like he doesn't want to run the ball. Is that something that you've noticed as a coach, or are you working on that, or is it just the play calls that that you have?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. With David, he was in the option system last year, and that's a really tough situation to put a kid in, going from a spread situation, going from a old box situation, and then going into a triple option. He's had 3 different offenses type of looks, so him picking up on that, and I mean he's very good at understanding football itself. So coaching him is he understands what he's supposed to be looking at and all that stuff quicker than most kids. But just changing the offense like it was in the past couple of years, over and over again, kind of you can see him in other kids, not only just David. I mean, he's the one quarterback, limelight, spotlights on him, people talk about all that, but all the other support people around him, you know, linemen to running backs, fullback, all that kind of stuff, even receivers, different route trees, all that kind of stuff. It's had an effect. And that's what we're preaching as a coaching staff, consistency. Here's what we're doing, here's our plan. The kids are picking up on it. And I think he'll be a lot better with what we're doing now as opposed to, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, as I said earlier before the interview started, I met David during baseball season. He's a great young man. He is a great athlete and very smart, as you said. And he will pick up and adjust to this new offense, kind of going. And triple option it's very difficult because it puts a lot of stress, so to speak, on that quarterback. And I look forward to David having a great year. As far as some of your seniors or players that are coming back as seniors this year, do you have any standouts that you really look to have a banner year?
Tyler Brogdon is one of ours he's been here every day over the summer. He works his tail off in the weight room, and he's been real impressive as far as leadership goes on the football field, in the weight room, even in the locker room, preaching what we've been talking about. And he's been doing a really good job for us, and I think he's picked up a couple people carrying along with him. Tyson Elliott's one of the linemen that's coming back, and he's been, every different front, every different, scheme you could think of, and he's just kept his nose down and kept working and working. So, they're going to be pretty impressive. We got some skilled kids that are going to be seniors, that have been working hands, working feet, and everything, and it's going to look pretty good.
Well, as far as your skill players, let's talk about a receiver or two that that has really came way up in the last year's practice at this same time. With the triple option, of course, with David's going to be running this year with the passing and all that stuff involved. Who has your best hands on the team as far as maybe his go-to target? Without giving too much information to the other teams.
Yeah, no, and I think what we got on our team right now, we've got 3 kids competing. Who has the best? That's from day to day. Some good, some bad, some get better than the others. But I think Jonas Griggs, Corbin Singleton, and Bryson Smith, those 3 out wide, have been looking consistently, catching the balls, and running the routes, cutting it off, not rounding anything off, having a crisp route tree. And they've been doing a good job competing with each other and encouraging each other. So I think, they've stepped up and done a great job for us.
Right. Well, I'm going to change, still talking football, but I want your thoughts on comparison of football to life. Because, just like life, things change every day in life, just like they do in football. You never know in a game what's going to happen next from the opposing team. Just like in life, you never know what's going to, what situation you're going to face next there. How, from a mentor standpoint, not necessarily a coach, but life situations off the field, how do you interact with your athletes there, and what type of, life advice do you give them, other than football strategy?
Right. Well, life advice for them, we're here for them. And they know that first and foremost, and I tell them that all the time. I go and pick kids up, take them home, know about their families, ask them how their weekend was, vacation, all that kind of stuff. And the kids, of course, they come and tell me a lot of things, probably a little too much. So, helping them work through those mentalities and things they're dealing with in life, whether or not if I can relate to that, whether it's happened in my life or not, or we might have a coach on staff that something like that has happened to. We have resources for us, and we help them kids out as much as they need, and let them always know, with football-wise, kind of next play mentality. Things happen in life. It's hard. You can point the finger, and you got 4 pointing back at you. And I always tell the kids that. Mirror concept is something that I talk about a lot. You want to fix anything, look in the mirror first. Have an honest, and I told the kids when we did a mentor leadership meeting, I told them the hardest thing for the human body to do, the person, is to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. So in relating that to football, to school, to their teenage life, did I do the right thing? Was this something? Did I react the right way? Could I have made a better choice? How do I fix a certain situation? What's the real reason? And core foundations like that. So we preach and talk about that all the time for these kids because, that's just part of what we do. We're around them a lot, and I feel it's part of our job to create that kind of consistency with the kids and let them know that we're there for them and we can help them in any kind of thing outside of football. Football, is extremely important, but also how they're doing, apart from what they're wanting to do, and making sure that they understand we're there for them.
Well, I tell you, I had a long-time coach who's now retired and actually passed on out of Gainesville, where I'm from originally, tell me when we were talking basically the same question. It was early on when I first started officiating many years ago. His comment was, "Would your mama be proud of you?"
Right.
So I can relate that. I really like the look in the mirror.
Yeah, we're going off the win concept. W-I-N, what's important now. Especially in the summer, because you think going to the lake or hanging out with your buddies late night or anything like that, what's important now? Is winning later on in the season important to you? Then you're going to do the right things. That play was not your best play. What's important now? Are you going to show your butt, or are you going next play mentality? What's important now to you? So that win philosophy gets put into it.
I like that. I'll use that if you don't mind in my conversations with people. That's really good. Well, Coach, I definitely appreciate you sitting down with me.
Thank you.
Just hopefully you have a great season. Look forward to covering you this year, and we'll catch up with you later on in the season or closer to the season to see how things are going for you.
It's on. It's close. It's coming up.
Once again, Luther Kinsey with Team FY in Sports, and I've been sitting down with Coach Casey Wingard of Gilmer High School football, and look forward to a great Bobcat season.
Thank you.